time is not going to heal your heartache. At some point in our lives, we all feel heartbroken. Even if that relationship was just a couple of weeks, all the way up to many, many years. If you had a level of investment, if you had trust, and that was broken, then it's going to fucking suck. You may feel like you'll never feel the same way again, that all you can think about is this person, or you keep going through and thinking about what you could have changed. You have this deep sense of sadness, loss, or anger. But the thing is, if you just wait and rely on time to be the thing that allows you to heal and move on. Number one, you might be waiting a very long fucking time, but more importantly, you won't actually learn and grow from the experience, which is the goal of a breakup. How you handle yourself after the breakup is the key to recovery. I've been through harsh breakups before, and in this video, I'm gonna show you 10 easy steps to heal and move on. I'm Marcus Wolf, an international dating and sex coach, and each week I'm gonna teach you how to be the best man you can, inside and outside the bedroom, so you can get the types of girls you always wanted and deserve. Number one step is no contact. And I mean no contact. No calling, no messaging, delete her, block her, remove social media, do not rock up at her house with a boombox, pleading, begging, crying, saying you're sorry. Zero contact. If she wants to be friends, tell her you need some space. No contact. If there's things that remind you of her in your place, remove them. Get a box, put all the shit in it and put it to the side, but you will never be able to move on if you're still contacting this girl back and forth. So I'm very, very serious about this first step, zero contact. Step number two, you just have to accept that it's over. Don't try search for a reason at this point of the 10 steps as to why. Because your instincts and your rationality is completely fucked right now. You have this big emotional shift in yourself. So yeah, you're gonna think it's one reason, it's another, you're gonna search. At this moment, it's over, just accept that. You might at this point want to get it back. You might have this hope that if you just change a couple of things, if you just do this, you also need to remove this toxic hope that your mind is feeding you. Because this relationship, it ended for a reason. If you actually want to get it back, you have to go through these 10 steps first. It needs to come from a place where you're emotionally stable, you've learned what the dynamic of that relationship was, the lessons you can learn from it, so you can actually change and come from a place that you're like, this is what I want, and we are both changed people, and I see this from a clear perspective. You're trying to get her back or fix this relationship at this point is just gonna be completely useless. So remove that hope. Just don't let your body feed it. If you're like, no, it's over, accept it, move on, let's get to the 10th step. Your healing won't start until you start looking forward. Step number three, it's gonna be okay. Like really, it's going to be okay. Because I know you hear this from everyone. Everyone that you go to with this loss, this feeling of hurt, everyone says it's gonna be fine. But you probably don't believe them. You probably tell yourself like, no, this girl was the one. I'll never find someone like her. I'll never find, it's so difficult to see yourself getting out of this situation. But you have to realize on a very logical level, emotions change. Your perception of this girl is gonna change. Your perception of yourself is gonna change. You're gonna grow and develop as a person over time. And guess what? You're probably gonna end up with someone you're more compatible with, someone that you're more attracted with, especially as you learn from this and your value grows and you become a better man. It's gonna happen. Number four, feel your emotions. Look, it's normal to go through a wide range of emotions when you're going through a breakup. 40% of people even measure clinically depressive levels. So it's normal. Listen, you not only lost what you had with this girl, but you also lost the future that you envisioned with her. So it's going to hurt. But don't try to avoid these negative feelings. Embrace them, feel them. Play some sad songs, get out a journal, start writing down how you feel. When you feel angry or sad, it's important to actually label this, identify what is most painful, what do you resent, what do you miss. It's important not to get stuck in your emotions, not to get stuck blaming the girl or blaming yourself, which we'll cover a little bit in this video as well. But you need to finish your feelings. It's a normal process. You feel, you express, and you move on. Now this happens over time, but that's why this journaling and this feeling of emotions is so important. You need to go through that cycle. Step number five is find reality. When you go through a loss or a breakup, you always think about the best part of that person, the best things, the best memories. It becomes almost like a drug that you're withdrawing from. So you might find yourself reminiscing about all the amazing parts of this girl, or the amazing times that holiday you went on that was absolutely incredible. but you forget the negative things. You forget about how much you argued about where you should go, or the planning, or the actual fight you had on the holiday. So what I want you to do is make a list. Make a list of the reasons why you and this girl were not compatible, the things you didn't like about her, her negative traits, the times that she wronged you. And this isn't about, trying to hate on this girl. This is just really about bringing yourself back to reality. None of us are perfect, so you can't live in this fantasy. But really what you need to do is use this as a tool. Every time you look to get that emotional hit, every time you start reminiscing about the good times, pull out your phone, remind yourself, this wasn't this incredible fantasy relationship that you thought it was. There were some negative parts to this as well. So number 6 is rely on your bros. You might feel like you just want to lock yourself up in your room and isolate, COVID style, but don't do it. It's not going to be good for you. You have to force yourself. Now, obviously there's time where you want to spend by yourself, but force yourself to be around your friends, because it's going to allow you to get out of your head a little bit. And also they're going to help to validate your feelings. A lot of your friends would have been through very similar experiences. Number 7 is self-care. So take a holiday, have some time to yourself, get a new hobby. I don't care, have a fucking breakup party. But you need some time for some self-love. And don't forget to look after your body, because your mind and emotions are under attack. And if you neglect your physical health, it's gonna make it so much harder to get to that place of emotional stability again. So start with some healthy, basic habits. When you wake up in the morning, don't lay in bed, get the fuck out. Make your bed, brush your teeth, send an email. Have those quick wins in the morning. Go out and get some sun. Go for a run, go to the gym, eat healthy, and get some sleep. When you actually look after your physical health, it's gonna be so much easier to actually adapt, process your emotions, and move on. Step number 8 is learn from her. This is the most critical aspect of a breakup. This is where you find real meaning in that experience you had with her. You are going to be a better person because of this breakup. There are things you will learn about yourself, and there are ways that you will grow that otherwise would never have been possible without this hit, without this happening. So it's time to do a relationship analysis, a postmortem, and figure out what you can actually do to improve. And don't become butthurt or entitled. You don't want to get into these mindsets where you start thinking, all the girls are the same, I can't find a good girl, okay, I'm on the search again. Because the reality of the situation is it was probably a set of behaviors that you had that led to this breakup, or you chose the wrong girl. The girl that you picked for an exclusive relationship wasn't the right one to match you. So there's something that needs to change in your behaviors. So it's time to reflect and learn and go through. It might be something as simple that you did have a personality clash, that it's just you guys were not suited for each other. Or maybe you're super lazy in the relationship and you stopped doing the things that actually got her attracted to you in the first place. Maybe you didn't leave enough room for desire. You got really needy and was just overbearing. It could be any number of reasons, but you have to start asking yourself these tough questions. Because at the end of the day, you need that type of girl that you have that chemistry with, that you click with, the type of girl you really want, the one that you deserve. But if you don't have the right skills, you'll never find the right girl because you aren't the right guy. So if you want these skills, if you want to equip yourself with the tools to know who is the right girl and also how to attract her, then join the Mastermind. We have a group of men in there that have gone through similar experiences, that have brought themselves back up, that have learnt these tools and are now either finding themselves with plenty of options, enjoying life, or they've settled down with someone. Number 9, accept and forgive. It's really hard to move on if you're just looking in the past. And I don't care if this girl cheated on you with your fucking best friend. You need to be able to forgive. Because what forgiveness is letting go of that toxic feeling that you have inside of her. Because I guarantee you, this girl has probably moved on, is super happy. Do you really want to be held back and have her have this power over you? Do you want to be living like rent-free in your head as she's living her life? So forgiveness is not about saying, okay, what she did was right, or, it's great, thanks for cheating on me or some shit. But it's saying, all right, whatever you did, I'm not gonna let affect me anymore. You need to be able to let it go. Something that I found is super helpful is actually in your mind thanking her. Thanking her for giving you that chance, what we spoke about in the last point, which is learning from this, growing and being a better person, and actually ending up with probably someone better than she would have been in a relationship dynamic. The last point is also not just forgive her, but forgive yourself. Because yes, there's things you probably did that didn't help the situation or fucked it up. But also forgive yourself. You can't change what you did. You can't go back and change your behavior. That's who you were at that time. But you can change what you do in the future. So forgive yourself once again. Get rid of that emotion, get rid of that toxic feeling, and move on knowing that you're gonna live a much better life. Step number 10, find another girl. Now, this does not mean go out and fall in love and invest yourself in the next girl that gives you a little bit of attention. You have to be very careful here. If you still feel this emotional void or this loss of identity that you're trying to replace, then don't fall in love right away. But it's important to get yourself out there. Even if you don't feel like it, even if you don't feel like going out and speaking to other women, do it. Go out with your friends, because what it does is it will show you the reality of the situation. There's other girls out there that are gonna find you attractive, that are gonna find valuable things in yourself. And not only that, but you're gonna find other women that you also find attractive and find value in them. Just don't make the same mistakes or same patterns that got you into the heartache in the first place. The best way to manage this is with guidance. If you're going through a breakup, there's no better time to join a community of supportive men and coaches that can guide you to develop these skills than right now. Because I guarantee you, you're gonna be drowning in so many options that you're gonna be questioning yourself, why was I even hurt with this breakup? All right, peace guys, see you next week.